we just want the public to understand where we're coming from and what it is. Ultimately, the goal is not about stadium and walking. Ultimately, the goal is electoral reform, and we don't want anyone to lose sight of that. And now that there is an opening for a discussion, we think that we want to pursue that channel. Gabungan Pilihan Raya Bersih dan Adil 2.0 menjunjung kasih Peduli Yang Maha Mulia Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong di atas perkenan kami menghadap pada 5 hari bulan Julai 2011. Bersih 2 telah diwakili oleh saya, Dato' A. Samad Said dan Encik Zaid Kamaluddin. Bersih 2 juga menjunjung kasih Sri Paduka Baginda Tuanku di atas keprihatinan terhadap aspirasi rakyat untuk menikmati demokrasi dan hak asasi seperti yang termaktub di dalam perlembagaan persekutuan. Rombongan Bersih 2 telah mempersembahkan kepada Sri Paduka Baginda Tuanku di antara lain pernyataan dan pendirian yang berikut, iaitu 1. Bersih 2 menerima tawaran kerajaan untuk mengadakan rapat umum di stadium. Bersih 2 berharap polis memberi kerjasama untuk memastikan perhimpunan berjalan dengan lancar. Wakil Bersih 2 tidak melebihi 10 orang akan selepas perhimpunan menyerahkan satu memorandum kepada Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Yang kedua, kerajaan mesti menunjukkan good faith dengan membebaskan semua yang telah ditahan, termasuk individu-individu yang ditahan di bawah EO, Emergency Ordinance, dan memberhentikan tekanan, gangguan serta halangan kepada penyokong-penyokong Bersih 2. Yang ketiga, menumbuhkan satu Suruhanjaya Siasatan Diraja, Royal Commission of Inquiry, untuk pembaikan sistem dan proses pilihan raya. Tentang tuntutan Bersih 2 sekarang, ya. Bersih 2 adalah gabungan yang sah kerana disertai oleh pertubuhan dan entiti yang berbangsa. Bersih 2 menuntut ditubuhkan satu Suruhanjaya Siasatan Diraja (RTI) untuk mengkaji secara menyeluruh kelemahan-kelemahan di dalam dan mencadangkan penambahbaikan kepada sistem dan proses pilihan raya yang sedia ada. Suruhanjaya ini hendaklah dianggotai mereka yang berkaliber dan mewakili semua pihak yang berkepentingan. 8 tuntutan jangka pendek, short term goals of Bersih 2 or short term demands of Bersih 2 mestilah dipenuhi sebelum pilihan raya umum ke-13. Ke-8 tuntutan rakyat ini adalah, saya akan ulangi, ya. Bersihkan senarai undi, mereformasikan undi bos, gunakan dakwat kekal, masa kempen minima 21 hari, akses media yang bebas dan adil, kukuhkan institusi awam, hentikan rasuah, dan hentikan politik kotor. Semua yang telah ditahan berkaitan sokongan kepada Bersih 2 hendaklah dibebaskan immediately. Ini bermakna Bersih 2 menuntut ke-6 pimpinan Parti Sosialis Malaysia PSM, termasuk Ahli Parlimen Dr. Michael Jayakumar Devraj yang ditahan di bawah ordinan darurat mesti dibebaskan serta-merta atau dihadapkan ke mahkamah. Pendakwaan terhadap mereka yang ada kaitan dengan Bersih 2 ditarik balik atau digugurkan. Mereka yang masih ditahan dibebaskan tanpa syarat, unconditional release. Semua gangguan, harassment, ugutan, tuduhan dan fitnah kepada penyokong-penyokong Bersih dihentikan. Ini bermakna rakyat dibenarkan memakai baju kuning. Dan usaha-usaha menjayakan perhimpunan Bersih 2 di stadium tidak dihalang. Dan bahawa pihak polis di Raja Malaysia, Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur atau mana-mana pihak lain tidak memberikan apa-apa halangan kepada semua rakyat yang menghadiri perhimpunan Bersih 2 di Stadium Merdeka pada pukul 2 hingga 4 petang 9 hari bulan Julai Sabtu ini. Bersih 2 bersedia untuk bekerjasama dengan mana-mana dua pihak bagi memastikan perhimpunan ini berjalan dengan aman dan lancar. Bersih 2 sedang berusaha untuk bertemu dengan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak dengan segera untuk membincangkan semua tuntutan di atas dan apa dua hal berkaitan Bersih 2. By way of recap, we have explained what it is that we put forward to His Majesty yesterday. We wish to thank His Majesty for seeing us yesterday, and we have set out here some of the issues that we raised with His Majesty. The second part of our statement deals with issues that we feel should be resolved in the spirit of conciliation. That's where we are now. And we believe that as a matter of good faith, because we have accepted the government's suggestion of a rally in the stadium, we believe that it is only proper that they stand down everything that has occurred today. Topmost priority is the release of all those who have been arrested or detained under the EO in connection with Bersih. And that is common sense, I think. That must follow. That must follow, and we invite the authorities to please do so immediately. We have also set out here what it is that Bersih is looking for. And if you look at our 8 demands, these are immediate demands, short-term demands before the 13th general election. There are long-term demands as well. But as far as the short-term demands are concerned, these are matters that can be can take place. These are issues that are very doable. What I would say are very doable. There is nothing that is so difficult to comply with in the demands that we ask for. We have put, of course, Bersihkan Senarai Undi, cleaning up the electoral rolls. We have talked about reformation of the Undi poll system. It is actually a very complex, unnecessarily complex system. And we think that it is not achieving the purpose for which postal ballots are meant to be used. We also think the use of indelible ink is such a cheap and simple way of dealing with electoral fraud that we think that is something that the government can accept quite easily. And in fact, they did accept, or rather the EC suggested it prior to the last election. Now, and this system has been used in many, in other countries. It works. We've also campaign period, minimum 21 days. What's so difficult about that? That's easily done. Access to media that is free. What's difficult about that? That's easy to do as well. And I think the EC should play its role in ensuring that there is free and fair access to media. Then, of course, we've asked for the institutions to be strengthened and for corruption to be eradicated. That is something that, all right, not so easy to do, but is something we should start doing. I think what it is we want where corruption is concerned is that the authorities must act seriously in relation to corruption. There is no point going after, some people and not others. In other words, they must enforce the law. As far as elections are concerned, what would fall within this scope would be vote buying. And we would ask the authorities to act seriously on reports of vote buying. So far, we've been met with the response from the EC that they are powerless to prosecute. That's true, but it doesn't mean they are powerless to do anything. They have enforcement teams under the Elections Act, teams who are supposed to ensure compliance with all election laws. So how do they ensure compliance? They make reports if they see anyone violating the Act. So that's how we say the EC should play its role. As far as, of course, the MACC is concerned, they also have come out and washed their hands of electoral offences. So somebody has to take charge. What is the point in having legislation if nobody wants to enforce it? So all we're saying is enforce the laws that are there, strictly and fairly. As far as the last point is concerned, Hentikan Politik Kotor, this is directed to all candidates. All candidates. The rakyat are sick of the kind of politics that's being played in this country. Yeah. We are interested in knowing what your policies are. So please don't descend to these levels. We are more interested in knowing what you stand for, why you are running as a candidate, and what you can do for the rakyat. So we hope, and that is easily done too. What is difficult about that demand? Candidates just have to be disciplined, and we want to judge them based on what they can offer the rakyat. We want the standard of the debate in the elections to be much higher than it is. We want them to actually debate with each other about policies, which is why a system of having televised debates is a very good idea. So these are the demands that we have put forward. But for what we feel is a just solution to the issue of electoral reform, so that you don't have these people arguing this way and that way, the best is set up a Royal Commission of Inquiry and panel it with experts. Let them overhaul the electoral system and let them give their suggestions. And I think that is the best way out for everyone. Then no one complains. Then we won't be arguing about it until the 13th general elections. So put it in the hands of the experts. That's what we have suggested. And there are experts in this area, by the way. Issues relating to elections are not straightforward, they're not simple. So it is best left in the hands of those who know what they're talking about to suggest reform. So that's basically what we have asked for. Thank you. Now about the Stadium Merdeka, we are trying to get it. We haven't got it yet. Do we need a permit? In my view, once the government has said you can have your rally in the stadium, what permit is there business to do? Right? But we agree that we must work with the police, yes. We agree that we have to work with them on traffic control and other such issues. So we will be writing to the police to do that. We don't have much time, so we need to do that quite quickly. No protest outside the stadium, it will be in the stadium. And it's not a protest, by the way.
Rally.
We are rallying in the stadium. We've just sent off a letter, or we're just sending it off. So we're hoping actually to meet with the Prime Minister ASAP, hopefully today, because of the time. But let me just say that he heard us out on all the issues. Tuanku heard us out. We're going to do that on the 9th of July. After the rally, a group of us, we have said not more than 10, will go to the palace and hand over the memorandum. Thank you for asking that question. Kami menjemput semua, everyone to join us, UMNO Youth as well. UMNO Youth telah pun mengeluarkan statement ya, bahawa mereka sedia membincangkan hal electoral reform dengan Bersih. Kami juga sedia membincangkan hal ini dengan UMNO Youth. We welcome that statement by UMNO Youth that they're prepared to discuss with us. Yes, we actually are rather horrified, to be honest, that despite Tuanku's statement that was issued, these arrests continue. We don't see how that fits in with the statement that Tuanku issued, the hijab Tuanku. And so kami merasa we're really very surprised actually that they appear to be carrying on this campaign. And by the way, a few of the staff at Empower, the Bersih Secretariat, are going to be charged tomorrow. So I don't understand, either its right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, because the government also has said now we can have it in the stadium. It doesn't make sense to me, on the one hand, how the government can agree that we can proceed in the stadium, and on the other hand, these crackdowns are taking place. I don't think it makes sense to us, I don't think it makes sense to anyone. So I would urge, and I would put it down to perhaps instructions not filtering down. So I hope that the police will take all steps to ensure those instructions reach them, that in fact we have been allowed to hold our peaceful rally at the stadium, and that we should be allowed to wear our yellow t-shirts or Bersih t-shirts and proceed with the rally, because it doesn't make sense otherwise. It's inconsistent. The continued crackdown is completely inconsistent with the Prime Minister's invitation to us, which we have accepted. Well, the crackdown is intimidation. It's nothing else. It's just pure and simple intimidation. That's how it started. To try and thwart Bersih's intentions to have a peaceful rally. But I would like to assume good faith on the part of everybody. I would like to assume that it is everyone's intention that this is taken as an exercise in reconciliation. That's where we are coming from. As I say, Bersih is rakyat movement. We are peace-loving. We have taken a step back. We have taken a step accepting the stadium. So we hope they will stand down on their further actions of intimidation against Bersih. Yes. We have nearly 5,000 people who will be marshals, who will be doing crowd control and taking charge of that. But to me, if the police work with us, and we believe they have to because of, and I believe they will, to be fair, they will, because of the direction of the Prime Minister, then I think public order will be maintained. No, I don't think so. I believe situasi ini adalah suatu situasi yang istimewa, yang khas. Bukan, and pada pendapat saya, tentang hak orang ramai untuk berkumpul dan freedom of assembly itu adalah hak di bawah kelembagaan. And we have had street rallies before. There are many street rallies. You will remember the Linas one, you will remember the ones in relation to Palestine, where people walk to the US Embassy. So it's been done. So I don't think that this sees the end of street rallies. I just wanted to add one more thing, because I think I need to thank one other person in particular, and that is Tun Badawi, who did play an elder statesman role in this. He did, as I mentioned earlier, he did through through his friend, who was Datuk Rama, did contact me, got my number and contacted me and asked to see me. And this was on Monday morning. And I think it is important that an elder statesman role was played by Tun Badawi in this. And so we want to say thank you very much to Tun Badawi. I need to say this because apparently there were attacks on Datuk Rama, who was with me at the press conference in PJ, alleging that he was part of Bersih. I want to make it clear he has nothing to do with Bersih. I think he was seated there, he had given me a lift to a power. So I need to make that clear because everyone who has any connection with Bersih seems to be under attack. I think really all of us can take a step back. I will even urge Bersih supporters, let's calm down, let's take a step back, let's enjoy the 9th of July as a celebration of democracy. I have to say yes. I would be dishonest if I said no. But I was very grateful for Tuanku's intervention. Yeah. Well, because of the heightening of tensions, not caused by us, not one bit of that, by the way, was caused by us. And I believe we need to ensure that the focus was not being diverted away from our cause. And we were increasingly beginning to feel that was what was happening. That really the focus was on everything else, about personal attacks and stuff, but not about electoral reform, which is really our ultimate goal. Right, that was a different, that was a different Bersih. That was, we had political parties involved there. Whether there has been electoral, never mind 2000, there hasn't been an electoral reform for a long time. It's actually been getting worse. Because if you look at the way legislation has been amended over the last 10, 20 years, you will see that, that rather than making the system more vibrant and more fair, it was doing the opposite. I think if you look at the federal constitution, there are actually guidelines, for example, on how to do constituency redelineation. There's actually supposed to be a tendency towards equality, but when you look at the map of constituencies, you will see that some constituencies have 50,000 people, some have 10,000. So in other words, the vote of each voter is not valued the same. The vote of the voter in the 50,000 constituency is worth 1/5 the value of the vote of the voter in the 10,000 constituency, because you can only send one entry to 50,000. So it's those sort of things, and I think public awareness about that is important. But as far as amendments are concerned and changes on electoral reform, I don't think they've been satisfactory to us. We have to keep fighting that. We have to keep speaking out. We have to keep showing support to the people. Well, we can't stop until they're released. It's as simple as that. And this is where civil society, and I know the press has been wonderful. They've been highlighting all these issues, and this is where we need to really say that this is unacceptable. Rombongannya ramai tidak melebihi 10 orang akan ke istana selepas rally di stadium, dan kami akan menyerahkan memorandum pada hari ini. No, this is NGO, us. Alright, let me make one thing clear. Everyone is welcome to our rally. Okay? Everyone. Whether it's opposition, whether it's government, they are most welcome. Opposition party members are citizens of this country. They have every right to support Bersih. Every citizen has a right to support Bersih. So I think that clouding of the issue, because the real issue is, on the day, we have made it very clear that all political parties who are attending cannot wear their t-shirts, cannot bring their slogans, flags, etc. It is entirely a Bersih affair. So we have made that very clear. setakat mana kami telah pun menyediakan ramai 5,000 orang sebagai pengawas. That is our offer to ensure security. But ultimately, ya, public order in this country bukanlah tanggungjawab Bersih. Yeah, it's the tanggungjawab, it's the responsibility of the police. And I truly believe we have very competent police, and if they work with us, we can really enjoy a very peaceful rally. Dan we have to remember, sesiapa yang membuat keketuhan ke apa, mereka akan menjatuhkan imej negara kami. So it is not in anybody's interest, not in the government's interest, it's not in our interest, it's not in anyone's interest that anything goes wrong on that day. It is in everyone's interest, particularly the government, to ensure that Saturday goes off peacefully. And that's what we are hoping. They shouldn't, that's exactly the point, you see. Once the government sanctions has set, to me, the minute the government sanctioned, the Prime Minister sanctioned holding the rally in the stadium, it is my view, and I believe the police will do this, they will facilitate rather than block the holding of the rally or stand in the way.